Hello and welcome to Where You Not Entertained, where two film fans discuss their favorite flicks. I'm Daniel,
I'm James.
and we are continuing our coverage of The Mandalorian. We are now on episode 7.
The penultimate episode.
Oh, God.
Yeah, the reckoning is this one, and there's some reckoning to be had.
Yes, there is.
Heads up, we're going to spoil everything here.
Yes,
So
as we do.
This one, beyond all others of the episodes so far, make sure you watch it before you listen to this.
Right.
Being the next to last episode,
Yes.
There's some things that happen that you probably would like to experience for yourself the first time.
Yes, without two a-holes spoiling it for you.
I'll accept that.
Yes, you will.
How'd you feel about this? This was my second time watching this episode. What'd you come away with?
So I really liked the fact that this is, well, obviously, so it's episode 7 of 8. But we're finally getting back to like the main story. No more of these side missions.
Yes,
we're back on task.
The child.
Yes, yep. Exactly. The client, the child, the guild. We're all together.
Very much so. I mean, like, there's even him collecting Kara and Quell, getting the whole like Jason and the Argonauts team together.
Yeah, I think it was just Quill.
I'm just saying Quell, like Q-U.
Quell.
Yeah, I don't know how to spell it.
Okay, we'll call him Quell.
Sure.
But yeah, no, they literally went and grabbed everybody that was a cool character from the other episodes.
Mm-hmm. Getting the band back together.
Exactly. I guess an assisting character. Because the droid wasn't necessarily cool, but he did help.
Yeah, it was Taika Waititi. Of course he's going to be coming. He has to come back.
Yes, it's true.
He has to make them tea and second meal.
Yes. Yeah, a nicer version of Taika Waititi than the original.
Slightly less murderous.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, I really enjoyed that aspect of it, and I was curious how they were going to set it up. I knew, or I felt anyway, that once Mando got the message from what's his name, Grief, that it was going to be a setup, and it wasn't going to end well for anybody.
Yeah, clearly.
Right. Well, as setups usually do.
How did you feel when they pulled the rug out from under you, and suddenly the big bad client is gunned down, and you drop in an entirely new bad guy?
I was a little surprised, to say the least, because they really did. They laid waste to everybody in there.
Except for the good guys.
Can't kill the good guys yet.
Which really seems counterproductive. I'm just saying.
What, not killing the good guys? Yeah, I would say that if you're a bad guy...
You've got bad guys in there who are willing to help you, clearly, because the client seemed to be very concerned with Moff Gideon whenever the phone call came through.
Yes.
So, like, why go blasting through the hole like that when you could have just like sent all 40 troopers inside? They can't just wipe them all out.
Well, yeah. I don't know.
It was like shooting your own troops to clear the line fire or something. I don't know. It seemed weird.
Honestly,
it was very visually impactful.
Maybe it was more. Maybe it was more elitism. Right? Like, my soldiers are trained better than yours, and I don't want your junk. So
we're the real remnants of the Empire, and your guys are a bunch of a bunch of local warlords running around in imperial armor
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
I get that.
That's kind of the feeling that I had anyway.
I mean, the dude did drop down in a pretty BA TIE fighter.
Yes, he did. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It was
It
really
also
cool to see.
finally explains who it was that a couple episodes back, whenever there was the guy trying to get into the guild, who that was that turned over the bodies at the end.
Did it?
Well, that was Moff Gideon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, you knew somebody was following them, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I just didn't. Okay. I guess I didn't
thought.
put that together.
I mean, that's what I took away from that.
Huh.
When you introduce a big bad that just drops down, I was like, hey, yeah, no, you're going to give that to me. Like, yeah, the creepy guy who's been following him is what I always took away from that. I don't think there's any other references to it, but that was my assumption.
Yeah, it works. Makes sense. I'm all right with that.
Well, yeah. My biggest takeaway from this is never let that baby Yoda ever learn to fly anything. He nearly crashed a spaceship in the middle of empty space.
Yes, he did.
That's impressively terrible. So piloting skills, maybe not what we should be focusing as Force on. We'll leave that to Luke, and then maybe he's better with the lightsaber. Or healing. He's clearly good with healing.
He is clearly good with healing. I think he needs to learn the difference between friends and enemies, and what's a good sport and what's fighting.
And yeah, and also what's considered very dangerous.
Yes.
Yeah, he was straight up gonna kill Cara Dune if Mando didn't say something about it.
Yes, he was. He was all about that Darth Vader choke.
Yeah.
It was not looking good. I was surprised when he did it. I was like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" Which is kind of the reaction that Mando had too. So,
yeah, we've kind of pranced around one thing though that I did want to make sure we brought up. Looks like Quill's dead at the end of this.
Yes, it does. I wasn't prancing around it. I just
you prance around everything.
I just didn't want to talk about it.
I know, right? Not cool, bro.
No, it's not.
And it's kind of Mando's fault. He totally would have made it back and locked up if Mando had just shut his mouth and not gotten his... This is a moment when I wish we had a sponsor for NordVPN, because I would bring it up right now and say that if Mandalorian had had some sort of encryption function on his online communications, then he wouldn't have been picked up by the troopers, and Quell would still be alive, and Baby Yoda wouldn't be in the hands of the bad guys. But no, gotta broad channel it and get his friend killed. Not cool, man.
Exactly. No, not cool. Shot in the back, no less.
Yeah, right?
Not even like got a good fight, just like blam, blasted in the back.
And killed his animal, the grug or whatever it is.
Yeah, 2 of them.
Yeah, it's just mean, man.
It's just mean.
Another thing I definitely had to bring up was, did you, like me, because I know you love this movie, did you get a serious Pitch Black feeling whenever, oh God, I can never remember his name, Grief?
Yes.
Whenever Grief said, trust me, nothing can go wrong, and then all of a sudden giant dragons flew out of the sky to attack them in the middle of the night?
Yes.
Yeah, I had very much the... looks clear moment like stuck in my head there.
Well, how's it look now? Looks clear.
Love it.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it was definitely a lot like that. And those things were tough.
Mm-hmm.
They were shooting the crap out of them.
Yeah. Which also was a really interesting story device. Because if you realize what that actually was, the purpose of that was to injure Grief on camera so that Baby Yoda had an opportunity to heal him to prevent him from double-crossing Mando.
Right.
Because up until this point, and in fact, since he double crosses his double cross before they find out, he's actually never wronged Mando.
Yeah.
In fact, every opportunity he has given him a peaceful resolution if he just follows the rules of the guild, which Mando signed up for in the first place. The Mandalorian's the one who's broken every single rule, and Grief hasn't really gone after him to the level he should have.
Right.
Gotta
No, that's
say,
true.
He may seem sketchy, and he may be sketchy, but guy's not as bad as some people may make him out to be.
Yeah. A killer with a heart of gold.
Nope. I don't know about that, but he got a little more.
You are absolutely right, though. He has had opportunities where he could have just like blasted him in the back or whatever instead of stepping out and having a conversation or those things.
Right. Instead of trying to talk it out, just mass ambush.
Yeah.
Or there's a ton of different ways that it could have gone.
Which, on all fairness, he was about to do that.
He was,
but he didn't.
He did, but he didn't.
Yeah.
Continually not doing that when you've had opportunities, I feel like that, the first time, all right, well, maybe it was in his best interest. The second time, you start to go, well, maybe there's a little bit of a pattern here, and he's just putting up a bigger front about being a evil or a merciless person than he really is.
All he's got to do is just tap it in. Just tap it in.
Nice. What happened to your hand, Grief? I don't want to talk about the alligator. It was these flying alligators.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my God, he so should have lost his arm in that. That would have been the best thing ever.
That would have been funny.
That would have been great. Especially if they had like a wooden arm to give him in the final battle.
With some glued on fingers.
Good times. Now, I think they were looking for a little bit different tone there.
I think so.
I love this episode. This is kind of the culmination of what I feel like The Mandalorian is all about. It's pretty impressive because I am not the kind of person to watch the same season of television within 6 months of it, over again. Years down the road, maybe I'll revisit it, but I'm really having a good time the second time around as well. This is a really well-made series. I already know what happens, but I'm still excited to watch the final episode after watching this. I want to see it again. And it's just a testament to, kind of how well they knocked it out of the park first season. So definitely excited to finish up this season and see the next one come. It sounds like October at this point.
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
I'm really, I think this is one of the higher, I think it's the highest rated episode of all of them.
Makes sense.
It's good. It's got some twists and turns. So I'm really anxious to see how they cap off the season.
Mm-hmm. They've got a lot of stuff to tie up in a very short amount of time. So we got 1 hour left to find out the fate of the Mandalorian and his child. Well, not his child. The child.
The child. And friends.
Yeah, and friends. Do Kara and Grief both make it out with him? Do any of them make it out? Does maybe is Quell not dead or just injured and the IG-11 unit helps him? Who knows? There's a million possibilities. Everything's up in the air.
Yep. We'll find out.
Yeah. Next time. So hopefully you enjoyed the review of the next to last episode of The Mandalorian. If you did, please go and like and subscribe and join us next time on Were You Not Entertained?